Welcome to Newline99. This is about the Texas Instruments TI-99 4A home computer, a type of microcomputer available for personal use in the late 1970s and the early 1980s. I grew up in the 1980s, and I got my first glimpse of the TI-99 4A at a relative's house. I was drawn to its ability to control sound and color graphics through TI Basic. People who owned a TI home computer were few and far between, so it was exciting to find out when someone you knew had one. Those of us who were kids at the time didn't know anything about the politics, price wars, and adversarial relationships in the home computing industry back then, but the story of the TI home computer is a curious one. The company Texas Instruments in Dallas, Texas made their start in 1951 with the ambition to innovate in electronics. They became known for their work in the first semiconductors and integrated circuits. In 1953, engineer Gordon Teal was brought into TI and improved on Bell Labs' transistor design. Along with Bell Labs, TI introduced the first silicon transistors to the industry. Jack Kilby at TI demonstrated the first integrated circuit in 1958 and patented it in 1959. Continuing to evolve their ideas in circuit miniaturization, they became the first company to produce handheld electronic calculators, microprocessors, and speech synthesizers. They made sure that their passion and pride in their work did not go unnoticed. On the manuals of many TI-99 home computer products, you'll see them boast their achievement. Texas Instruments invented the integrated circuit, the microprocessor, and the microcomputer, being first is our tradition. It was in the late 70s that Texas Instruments had entered competition with early game and home computer systems by companies like Apple, Commodore, and Tandy. TI had designed their microprocessor, the TMS-9900, put it in a case with a built-in keyboard and ports that allowed the user to expand it, plug it into a television, and play games with software burned to cartridges. This became the 99-4, the first 16-bit home computer, and it was pretty expensive compared to the systems that it was competing with. It was seen as a flop, and Texas Instruments had trouble selling it at any price, but that didn't stop the company. They gave their system a better keyboard, a few improvements here and there, and lowered the price significantly. There were places that were selling the TI-99 4A at $300 to compete with Commodore's VIC-20 system, and still they had trouble convincing potential buyers. They offered a $100 manufacturer's rebate on top of the already low price just to move units. TI had to keep lowering the price to compete in the personal computer space. There were TV commercials, tie-ins to breakfast cereal, magazine articles, catalogs, even prizes on game shows to promote the TI-99 to help make it visible to the market. So what is the TI-99 4A? Hey, here's the box it came in. A big black box, big white lettering, this giant picture of a computer coming at you like a spaceship. Looks like it was safety checked, whatever that means. That's good, right? On the back side, they make sure to show you a family photo of all the computer accessories you didn't get yet. You can buy this, you can get this, you can get this. Oh, what's that? Oh, cool stuff. Okay, so you can go out to your local Wilson's and get all that stuff. It looks like mine was about $150 when I got it. I think that would have been about the fall of 1983. Inside this box, in the super cool foam container, you'll find the computer itself with documentation. The TI-99 4A has a built-in keyboard. Those of you who are familiar with the silver TI will notice a peculiarity here, that my keyboard's not the black one that comes with the system, but instead it's the beige one that comes with a beige system. I had to replace mine. You know the story. I took my favorite toy on a road trip, got to where I was going, one of the keys didn't work. Later on, I went to Radio Shack and found a replacement. Unscrew some screws, disconnect, reconnect, screws back in, and it was ready to go again, now in beige. For some reason, I put this shiny toothpaste sticker on mine. I'm sure there's a fascinating story in there somewhere. So, how do you view the output of the computer? The computer connected to a standard broadcast television through this 5-pin DIN plug. In the early days, you would use the included RF modulator to connect it, and then tune your TV to channel 3 or 4. But the signal coming directly out of the port is composite video, which most modern televisions still have. There's a composite cable that you can either make or buy for the TI to plug right into your TV composite video and audio. How do you give the computer power? Using this gigantic, enormous cube transformer. The transformer has 4 pins providing 2 voltages to the computer, 18 volts AC and 7.5 volts AC. And with power and video, you're able to start using the computer immediately. The power switch is in front of the unit. However, other than the TI Basic programming language, it doesn't come with any other software. To the right of the keyboard is a place where you would insert cartridges containing software sitting on a chip. This is what they called solid-state software. This is how a lot of TI software titles were loaded. Games, education, productivity, whatever this is. A lot of them are accessed from here. Audio cassettes were lower cost, so another way to distribute software was on cassette. There was a 9-pin DIN port on the back, and the computers came with a cable that allows the user to connect the system to a cassette player or recorder. Commercial products were available on cassette, but you could also use any blank cassette with a recorder to store any programs and data that you wanted. There is a joystick controller port on the left side, which is another 9-pin DIN port, and it was made specifically for TI joysticks. Now, Atari joysticks were a lot easier to come by and had more styles, so third parties made Y adapter cables so you could just use Atari joysticks on the TI. There is a peripheral expansion slot on the right side. This is where you would plug in the amazing TI speech synthesizer. Computers that could talk to you was a thing we saw in movies, so for a kid to have a computer at their house that could talk in 1983, well, that felt exciting and prestigious.
That felt exciting and prestigious.
Most accessories that connect through the peripheral expansion slot had another expansion port on the other side, so that you could daisy chain several devices to your TI. The peripheral expansion slot is also where to connect the comically huge peripheral expansion box, giving you the ability to expand your computer with disk drives, modems, printers, serial ports, and additional memory. The manuals that came with the system would start you out, but there were also magazines that had printouts of programs that you could enter yourself. K-Power magazine was one of the ones I was most familiar with. They even published several collections of programs. There were other books on sale that had collections of games to key in and play. We're going to stop right here. I hope you find yourself a TI-99 4A home computer and have fun discovering or rediscovering this little piece of history. See you another time.